is JIB Live on Hot 93.3. I am Joyce Sibaji. It's good to be here. It's a beautiful Tuesday. It's a Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's a Tuesday. Okay, what are we talking about today? So I decided to talk about this because I got a lot of messages. I get a lot of messages though. I mean, I can't even, maybe I need like a PA to deal with my messages. So anyways, I've been getting messages a lot from single parents, and they've been asking me to do a show for single parents. Like, Joy, tell us about single parenting and how to have a healthy relationship with your children. And I decided to do it today because I actually got a message from a guy yesterday. I'm not being sexist or anything, but it was like, interesting. So he's a single parent, and he's like, yo, Joy, I listened to your show yesterday, and you talked about, school fees and doing this for 11 years as paying school fees all on your own, and you still look the way you do, and you still do what you need to do, and you still look fab, and maybe you should just, share your energy, share your tips. So, okay, whatever, let's just do it. And let's see what we can learn from that. So I'm going to talk about single parenting and growing a healthy relationship with your kids. I have tips. These are my personal tips. I am not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. So you just take what you can, and whatever you don't agree with, then trash it. Okay. You don't have to take whatever I say. I'm just here to share my experience. And it just seems a lot of people want to hear about my experience, and it just might help somebody out there that has been, that is struggling with single parenting. We can't continue to deny the fact that single parenting is well and alive and functioning. We're a very pretentious society where we just continue to promote one type of parenting. There are people who are single parents by choice, and there are some who are single parents by circumstances. And it is real. There's so many single parents now than ever before. So you have to pay attention to how do you as a single parent, how do you take care of your kids and have a healthy relationship? And also remember that you also have a life to live. How do you balance all of that and still kill your goals, make your kids happy, and have a vibrant life? Yeah, so let's talk about it. It's JIB Live. And if you have any tips, if you want to react to anything, if you have any questions, you know what to do. You send me a WhatsApp message, 08180089933. I'd like to take your messages. All right, so the show starts now. It's JIB Live. Okay, it's still JIB Live on Hot 93.3. And today we're talking about single parenting and growing a healthy relationship with kids. And even nuclear families can learn a thing or two when it comes to children. I don't think it's just exclusive to single parenting, but I got so many messages from single parents, and I decided to do a show exclusively for single parents, but anyone can learn whatever they need to learn. Also, the first thing I have to say, let me reiterate, I am not a counselor, I'm not a therapist. This is just my opinion regarding growing a healthy relationship with your children as a single parent. Some people are single parents by choice, some are single parents by circumstances. It doesn't matter. It's real, and there's so many numbers like that. So yes, maybe we should start to pay attention to that. The first thing I would like to say is, don't introduce your children to the person or the people you are dating. Don't bring them home. Don't, just don't. Okay. And there's a reason why I say this. Okay. So you've been a single parent for so many years. Do you know how many people you would have to date? Do you know how many frogs you have to kiss? You don't want to keep introducing, different men or different women to their lives. You are entitled to have as many partners as you want, right? If you are a serial monogamist in relationships and you like to experiment, maybe you date somebody for 3 months and 6 months, you are entitled to anything. You're an adult, right? But your children, they don't need to get into all of that vibe with you. Your home is their sanctuary. You should preserve it for your kids. Don't bring people to your home. It's just not right. I hear so many stories of women who carry men into the homes, and then they try to force the children into respecting this man and treating him like a father. No, don't do that. Just keep all of your business out of your children's lives. That is a very good way to keep them healthy and focus on their own goals. So you go out there and do whatever you need to do and keep your tracks clean. But don't bring all of that into your home, and definitely not introducing your kids to anyone. Just don't do that. I know of someone who actually, she was dating this person, and then after a while, they had the conversation of if the guy had to adopt the children. Yo, man, nobody needs to adopt anybody. Like his name, that is, so that, the surname, because women have all of these insecurities, and no, just don't do all of that to your kid. And then of course the relationship didn't end well at the end of the day. And, the kids have to now go back and try to change their names. And like, why are you putting your children in a position of your own insecurity? So don't bring anybody. Don't introduce your kids to anyone. Don't bring anyone to the home. That home belongs to them. You make it beautiful. You make it comfortable. You make it child friendly. You carry your business out of that home. It's your JIB live on Hot 93.3. I'm Joyce Bewaji. We're talking about single parenting and growing a healthy relationship with the children. Now, somebody would say, Joy, are you encouraging single parenting? Yo, I'm not encouraging anything. The way we live in Nigeria is always very funny. We're like ostriches, right? So we put our heads inside the sand, and we think because our heads are covered, our entire bodies are covered. That's hypocrisy. That's just so pretentious. Just because you don't endorse certain situations doesn't mean they don't exist, and it doesn't mean they don't exist in numbers, in alarming numbers. This is 2019. There's just so many things that are changing, and people want different things. We are not our mothers, as crazy as it is to some people, because you see some tweets where people say things like, I wish we could go back to the days of our mothers where women just those days are gone, yo. We want more from life, and things just happen. People don't necessarily have to tolerate what they can't tolerate anymore, so that's adult decisions. And if children are involved in those things, it's always important that you have the conversation because of the children, right? So that's why we're having the conversation. And I think even nuclear families can learn from this. My second point is have the single parent conversation with your kids. Have a conversation with them. Tell them exactly, especially when they're old enough to understand. And an 8-year-old can understand stuff. You just beat it down to bare bones, beat the conversation to bare bones, give them the nitty-gritty of what they need to know. Because the truth is, they go to school and they see a father and a mother, and they have conversations with their parents and with their colleagues, with their classmates. They have these conversations and they know certain things, especially if the other parent is not present in their lives. And there's so many families like that where it's just one parent. So they are going to ask questions. If you don't have that environment in your home where you allow them to be free enough to ask you questions, you're going to wear that insecurity on them, and it's going to look really bad for them because it will affect their education, it will affect their self-esteem, and you don't need all of that. So your home should be a place where your children can ask you anything. So when it is time for that conversation, the single parent conversation, have the single parent conversation and let them understand what's going on. If it's a divorce, let them understand, it didn't work out, and the guy had to move, but I'm here for you. You have that conversation with them, and you also assure them that they are going to be fine. It's up to you. Don't transfer your fears and your insecurities to your children. It's just none of their business. They didn't ask to be born. You gave birth to them. It's your responsibility. Whoever is present, right? It's your responsibility to shield them, to protect them, to love them. So your job is to always give them the conversation and assure them that you're going to be okay. I'm here for you. It's going to be fine, yo. And also do things to make them know that it's going to be fine. When it's time to pay school fees, pay it on time so they don't call them out. And then they start saying, it's because there's a single parent child. Yeah, you have to pay it on time. You have to always, to take extra, because you're trying to prove a point to your kids that this stuff is not going to affect your life, because it shouldn't affect their lives. Single parenting and growing healthy relationships with your kids. And, I talked about the fact that you need to be able to meet up with their needs. So, they don't seem like, okay, because you're a single parent, you can't meet up. So you have to take your hustle really seriously. You have to take your job or your business very seriously. You have to ensure that you have enough money to take care of your children. It's your responsibility to do that. Also, do not transfer aggression to your kids. They are not the ones who hurt you. don't transfer aggression. Don't say things like, when I look at her, I see his face. Yo, what does that even mean? You are the one who made a bad choice, in quotes. So you see her face and she looks like her father. What does that even That's bullshit. Okay, I can't even curse. So I have heard that so many times and I feel like slapping someone. That's not the child's business, right? You gave back to that child because you did something that made that happen. Now do your job. Fine, it should be both of you. But are you going to just keep the blame game on? The kids need to eat. That's one thing people need to understand. When I know of a situation in the school where the father and the mother, they're just doing all that power tussle, who is going to be the bad, just like, okay, I want to show you. But the thing is, when you do that, when both of you do that, you don't suffer as much as the children suffer. So, when it's time to pay school fees, because the man wants to show the woman, he will not pay the school fees. And because she's some kind of housewife, so she goes begging the school over and over and, oh man, nah, get your own income. So nobody treats you that way, because it's not just about you, it's about the children. So at some point, adults can act really weird. So he's trying to get back at his wife, his ex, or, whatever. But the truth is, it's affecting the children more than whoever you're trying to get. So nah, don't transfer that aggression to your children. And also choose your kids above everything and everyone else. Choose, and this also goes for every kind of parent, whether nuclear, whether single parent. Choose your children above. There is nobody that should be priority above your children. See, I don't care if the man is made of gold from top to toe. He is second best after your kids. Okay? The children first, always first, above everything, above your job, your relationship, no matter how in love you think you are, if you think this is some kind of Cinderella thing you're having, whatever, the children always comes first, right? And also empower your squad. They need to see you win at all times. I'm not saying you're not going to break down sometimes and feel sorry about situations, because you're human and sometimes it gets to you, but they have to know that this is my mother or my father and I know she's going to win at this thing. You have to make them feel very confident that you are the good parent. You are the one who is there and will always be there. You have to empower your squad. You have to teach your children how to be independent. As quickly as possible, they need to begin to see that you may not always be around, because you're a single parent. You have to work. You have to make up for other things, and you have to grow them. You have to make them know that, they have to be independent, and you are always going to be rooting for them, and you're always going to empower them, right? Okay, so I have Terry next on me. Okay, so I'm still running down some of my opinions regarding building a healthy relationship for your children, whether nuclear family, whether single parenting, because of the messages I got. Now, the next one is connect with others. Even though I don't do this, but connect with others, especially other single parents. It's really people in your own kind of situation. I don't do it, and I'll explain why I don't do it, because Nigerians are very funny people. Everything is religious in this country, so you're trying to connect to people and then they're going all religious on you, and God will help you get another husband. Who told you I want to be married though? So everything is too religious, everything is too pitiful. They're always having pity parties, WhatsApp, like, oh my God, all the memes are just so irrelevant to your life, irrelevant to your goals, irrelevant to your direction. So it's really hard to find my type of people, who just want to kill dragons. So I don't do all that. So, coming together, people just, so, but I think you should, if you can find the right crowd, you should, because you need to, you need that company, you need that other person's experience, you need to share it. It helps you it helps you feel good. But what I do is actually, I try to find healthy relationships, fun relationships, people or a person who makes me happy. I try to, do that with one or two people or something. So yeah, I may not be in that whole clique of single parenting, whatever, because a lot of pity party goes in there. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. And then when you're done with the pity party, they start begging. Maybe the mother starts begging, my child hasn't eaten. Yo, why hasn't she eaten? You should work harder or something. I don't know. No judgments, but it's just not my crowd. So, but you know, if it's your kind of thing, if you find solace and comfort in those kind of gatherings, please feel free, join them on their WhatsApp pages and do what you need to do. I just can't. I would most likely just connect with people who are on a certain level and think in a certain way, and that's fine for me. Another thing is you have to be able to fight for your children. You have to find solutions for your children. I remember when my kids changed school and started going to boarding school, and I knew, because I went to boarding school and I know the experience. And so they were bullied. And when I call them during the day, you know, to check how they're doing, I mean, you call the house mother and the house mother would connect you to the children. And then I was like, yo, how are you guys doing? And I sensed they were afraid, and I don't like my children being afraid. There's just nothing in this world that you should make you afraid. And I said, what's going on? What's going on? And it took me 35 minutes to talk to my own kids before they told me that they were being bullied. And I was really upset. Like, how? We are friends though. You should tell me everything. Why do I have to pressure you for 35 minutes? So that means it is already getting into their mind that this is normal behavior for them to be bullied. And you know what I did? The next day I was in that school with all of my fire and all of my bricks and all of my Thanos, and I burned it figuratively, you know, because of my actions, they had to address bullying in the school, and now it's zero. I'm not kidding. It's zero. So what a lot of parents, and why did it take me to do that? Because my kids were new. Why did it take me to do that? Why would you tell my children to carry a bucket of water and kneel down? What? And you're just 2 years older than her because you're in what? You're a kid. You don't do that. Okay, so why did it continue that way and nobody addressed it? Because a lot of parents, when the children tell the parents, they either just pray with them or advise them to try and be good. But you don't understand bullying. It doesn't matter how good you are. People don't look for whether you're good or bad. They look for how vulnerable you are. And when they say you're always vulnerable, they attack you. So what parents do is they just pray with the children, or they try to advise them how to stay away from the bully. Or some parents don't even have a relationship with their children where their children will tell them anything. So that's why it's that way in school. But when I heard it the next day, oh, you guys, you needed to have seen me. I was a raving black mad woman. Yes, I have Jay-Z next and Kanye West. All right, so next point, we're talking about building healthy relationships with our children as single parents or nuclear families. You have to educate your children. You have to educate your children, and the best by yourself. You have to do that. Do you know what they teach them in school? Especially if it's not science, if it's just every other thing. What they teach them is really basic. They teach them how to make detergent. They teach them how to make bleach. They teach them how to make slippers. Very basic things that the entire world has moved away from. Those are the kind of things they teach the children. I've seen textbooks where they say head is for carrying load. I mean, not in my children's school, but I've seen it online. I've seen textbooks where they say mothers stay at home, fathers go to work. These things, they haven't revisited the Nigerian educational materials in over 50 years. I mean, the thing is archaic as hell, right? So it's really up to you as a parent to teach your children. And what do? I teach them about life, because after you go all to school and they teach you logarithms and they teach you how to make soap, you have to come out and see life and learn about life. You can make this journey easier for your kids by giving them some of the tips of life. I teach them about life, about Whitney Houston. I've told them about Whitney Houston. I've told them about Jay-Z. I've told them about Rihanna. I've told them about Mark Zuckerberg, Obama. I've told them all the stories. And the idea is, it's not just entertainment. I am teaching. You can look at these people's lives, see what they went through, see how they conquered, or see how they failed. And they can get into that. They can, and your children are never too young to learn these stories. Right. Last week I saw a girl, somebody, I shared the story on the show. Someone who shot herself because her boyfriend broke up with her, and she was 15 when she did that. But, you know, the bullet missed her brain. So she actually lived. She's alive, but her face is like mashed potatoes. But that man has moved on. He's probably married and happy, but she has to live with that face. Now you have to show your children things like that. You have to, I literally had to take a picture of that. Like, I have to show my kids this one. So I was like, hey, yo, come around, dude. So this chick, yeah, when she was 15, like some 5 years ago, she shot herself because her boyfriend broke her heart. She shot herself because someone broke her heart. Look at her now. Do you know where that guy is? He's probably married. He probably has a good job. He probably has a family. He's happy, but she has to live with that face. Have that conversation with them, and then let them ask you questions like, but why did she have to shoot herself? Then you can like, exactly, why did she have to shoot herself? That's the question you and I have to answer, you know? And then you tell them about insecurities. You tell them about all the Cinderella stories that they keep using against women or using for women to believe these things are real. You tell them about love, romance, and the things that would happen. And they're never too young for these things. You have to break it down to their level and make them understand it, because you know what, if you do this for 10 years, if you start like when they're when they're 8 years old and they're 18, they're going to get into this world with more information and more everything prepared to win. But we don't take that very seriously. What we do is they go to school where they learn all this archaic stuff, and then they go to church on Sunday, and that's about it. And the rest of their life is cooking and doing. I don't have time for that. You will sit down. I will tell you stories. I will tell you stories about Osama bin Laden. I'll tell you stories about everything. You have to know everything, and you have to know it as a story, because children, even human beings, understand life better when it's a story. You should try it. You should try it. You'll be shocked at how much your children can grasp and keep and grow with. I mean, like 11 to 12 p.m. is like the shortest time in the world. I swear I just said, I mean, it's almost time. Okay, I have Bugima on WhatsApp. Hi, Bugima. He says, hello, Joy. I am still single and enjoying bachelorhood, but your tips on single parenting are on point. I'm taking notes. Who knows? Also, I was bullied in school. I hate bullies. There's this guy who bullies my colleagues at work. The day he wanted to try it with me, I gave it to him hot, like hot FM. Now I've given my colleague wings to fly and stand up. I have a story I wanted to share about bullying in school. It's a little bit long, so I sent it to your inbox on Facebook. Okay. All right, Bugima. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. I can't stand bullying, and there's just no way I can't let that, because the truth is, if you let bullies get away, in school, you're going to always believe that somebody has a right to bully you even after school. A spouse can bully you, a colleague can bully. No, nobody has a right to bully you. You stand up for yourself, and your children need to see that you stand up for yourself, for them to get that kind of energy and to do it for themselves. Another thing is, be a confident parent. Now, a lot of single parents, and I say this with a lot of, empathy. A lot of single parents move around a lot, especially when it comes to love. So you and somebody, you're kicking it, and you think, before you know, you move into his place and you carry your children there, or you're traveling with him, and and then you have to take your children to the village, or you take it to they always seem to move around because they are still looking for something. I don't know what they are looking for. I don't know, man. But they always seem to be looking for something, these single parents, right? I'm one of them, so don't think I'm just judging people. But I'm just saying that I'm a single parent. But I don't understand why they need to always keep acting like that. What are you looking for? So you put your children in that situation where you're always moving around. They're always moving around. It's not good for them, right? You have to ensure you can do all your moving around, though. Don't involve your children. Don't involve your children. You have to find a way that your children are secure. Even if you have to go to the moon, you keep them where they are secure and go do what you need to do. Don't drag them around. Don't let them be, the consequences of your bad choices. Don't let them suffer for that. So do all of you moving around, because you're entitled to trying to figure out what you need out of life. But just don't find a way to make them feel secure. Don't carry them all around. Don't make their own lives miserable just because you are miserable. No. Why you're even miserable, I don't know. There is nothing wrong with being a single parent in 2019. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Whether it's by circumstances or by choice, it's you're an adult. You can stand up for this thing and you can make it work. You really can. If you put your mind to it, you can do anything, and you can have happiness, and you can also do
Hot FM Lagos.
From the producers of The Wedding Party, Taxi Driver, Okwashewo, Learning Curves, and Tattoo comes another blockbuster movie, Market Must Sell.
Do you take Pius Chukwuka to be your lawful wedded husband as long as you both shall live?
Pastor, I won't purge.
Starring Tony Abraham, Bisola from Big Brother, She-Girl, Nedu, Igwe Tupac, and introducing Toke Makiwa in her first lead role in a movie, Market Must Sell. Coming to all cinemas across Nigeria from May 3rd.
In 2 weeks, my market has to sell.
Directed by Don Omope and distributed by Film One.
Okay, I'm still here, alive and well. And the show must go on. Okay, so yeah, I think I just made that point very clear. All right. Okay, so my next point, because time is running out. Okay, so discipline accordingly. Discipline your children accordingly, but don't come up with silly reasons to this is just because you want to discipline them. I hear a lot of conversations where people say, you have to discipline the children. You have to make sure that they don't turn out to be bad. You don't turn out to be this. They don't turn out to be wayward. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I disciplined my children because there hasn't been any reason to. I'm not just going to make up reasons just because I want to be a hard mother. There's just not a reason to do that. And then when you say that, people are like, you're spoiling the children. You have to discipline. Okay, discipline them on what exactly? They haven't done anything wrong in years. Yeah, you mean you're not even scolding them? You're not, okay, I should just manufacture reasons to scold them? They haven't done anything wrong to me. They are my kids, right? And I just haven't seen any reason why I should discipline anyone. We have conversations. If you do something that I feel you need to learn from, we sit down and we have that conversation and we move on. So discipline is not something that you are entitled to as a parent. If they do something that you feel they need to be disciplined, then go ahead and do it. But don't make it seem like you can just make up anything in your head. Okay, they woke up 5 minutes late. Or everybody come here, come and take this stroke up. No, relax already, Okay. Oh, I have to round up now. So let me round up with this. If there's any word your kids need to learn, it's no. Teach your children how to say no. No is a full sentence. They need to know that very early in life. They need to know it. They need to know it very well. No, 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 no. No is a full sentence. I can't go into all of that right now, but just understand that no is a very important word in their life. It will be a very important word in their life, and it's a full sentence. Teach them how to say no. And lastly, have a game plan for your kids. Listen, you don't have to follow any kind of social construct that is laid out for anyone else. You plan what you want for your children. You plan it well. Bring your sheet and paper. What do you want for your children? I have a plan that after secondary school, I need them to take a break for 3 years and learn coding, artificial intelligence, whatever other thing apart from just going straight into a university, especially when it's the basic Nigerian university, unless they're going to Chicago or something. So after secondary school, I just want 3 years of their lives. You're going to learn professional courses, all kinds of skills that they are interested in. Make some money, get to understand the dynamics of money, get to understand how money works, get to put your back into it, like work, skill, and all of that. And you do that, you understand life because you've seen all of it. And then maybe you can just go back and, unless of course, I'm hoping I have enough money to get them out of here, for proper education. Oh, I keep this in Nigeria. I love Nigeria. All right, that's the show. I'll see you tomorrow. It's JIB Live. Enjoy the rest of your day.